I'm Rod Weatherby.
I'm Dave Noel, and you're watching Nutshell.tv.
Today we're going to talk about explosions.
Of the sky kind.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about a crazy meteor explosion over, was it Sierra Nevada?
It happened in Nevada, over the Sierra Nevadas.
Yes.
What happened was...
the meteor sort of streaked across the sky, and then everyone was like, oh my God, and it exploded in such a loud, thunderous kaboom that it shook houses and windows for kilometers and kilometers.
Unfortunately, nobody got any video or audio of it that we know of. We haven't heard of any yet, but the police in 2 states got a ton of calls because people thought a bomb had gone off. I have a question. Why do things explode when they enter the atmosphere?
As a matter of fact, that question isn't alone, because a lot of people are asking, why do things explode when they enter the atmosphere?
Why?
Well, things don't generally explode when they enter the atmosphere. They have to be made of a very certain thing. Now, it turns out that this meteor was probably the part of a comet tail that we actually go through its debris field every year.
This is the comet right here.
And this is what it is. So you can click on that, and I make no excuses.
We go through its debris field, and occasionally we get these...
Occasionally we get these little, bits and pieces that sort of fly through. Every once in a while you end up with a bit of the comet that gets blown off by the sun, and it's so big that it actually makes it down to a part of the atmosphere where we can actually hear what's going on. So chances are, if it was just a meteor and just like a rubble pile of rocks and dust and iron, if that goes through the atmosphere, what you're most likely hearing is the sonic boom, because it's going many times the speed of sound. So you end up with this crazy sonic boom. The fact that it happened in the Nevadas means that it was probably echoing off the desert plains and the mountains in the distance and all this kind of stuff. So they're hearing like rumbles like all over the place. And they were saying that it sounded a lot like an earthquake, because it went on for like a half hour or so.
And then it popped. So what makes it pop?
There's a term in astronomy called ablation.
And what's ablation?
Ablation is when stuff peels and flakes off and melts and gets destroyed as it goes through the atmosphere because of the friction of the atmosphere. So when this thing was getting all ablated and stuff, chances are, if it was a part of the comet, it had like a huge pocket of ice or frozen methane or something that was actually being protected by the rest of the surrounding rocks that it was embedded in. And when it hit that critical point where that last little flake of rock flew off, all of a sudden you have like 1,500 or to 3,000 to 5,000 degree temperatures from the plasma of the air sort of ripping across this solid block of ice, and it caused a steam explosion. Now, steam explosions are enormous.
It's just a steam explosion?
It's just a steam explosion.
So it's similar to what happened in Russia in 1908.
Yeah, exactly. The Tunguska meteor event, or the Tunguska explosion, the Big Bang, as they called it before the Big Bang became the Big Bang. There was another Big Bang 100 years ago in 1908. Tunguska.
That's right, and it was in Russia. Researchers think it was a meteoroid or part of a comet.
Yeah, and basically it flattened 80 million trees in a 2,100 kilometer area, like square kilometer area. The computer models suspect that it would have registered about 5 on the Richter scale, and not to mention the fact that the amount of energy that thing let off when it actually exploded.
They think it was 1,000 times greater than the bomb dropped in Hiroshima.
Yeah, 1,000 times greater than the bomb dropped in Hiroshima. So this is a crazy event, and to think that this is just a kind of a steam explosion is ridiculous.
That's incredible. They also think in Tunguska that a lake in this area of Russia, sort of smack dab in the middle, if you took a look at the map of Russia, smack dab, that's the Tunguska region.
Is it called smack dab?
No, smack dab-bavich. Some researchers believe that Lake Chelko, which is in the Tunguska region of Russia, Lake Chelko is about 8 kilometers away from what we would call ground zero. And it looks like this lake was actually formed by a piece of whatever this event was hitting the earth and gouging the plains and creating a lake.
If you were hanging out there, you'd be like just chilling, and all of a sudden, all your skin's blown off your body. You're like, WTF?
And you've got a lake to party in. What's interesting is all the pictures of the aftermath of the Tunguska event were actually taken about 20 years after the event. So a lot of the pictures that we've seen, and we can probably show some here, of all these trees fallen, were taken in the late 1920s, and the event happened in 1908, but it took that long for researchers. It's a very isolated area.
Yeah.
A couple of shepherds and a bunch of trees.
There have been a couple of documentaries up there recently where they went in, oh, I think it was UFOs. No, I think it was, the Martian apocalypse.
When I was a kid, I thought it was a black hole. Because I was a kid, and that was my theory. I'm Rod Weatherby.
I'm Dave Noel, and you're watching Nutshell.tv.